Welcome to my channel. My name is Coach Nadine, and I'm here to go over what your coach really means when they say certain fitness lingo in the gym or in your classes on social media. I'm going to break down exactly what they mean and show you a few different tricks coming up next. For you who are not sure who I am, I have spent the last 15 years in the fitness industry. I am a certified personal trainer with multiple group fitness certifications in circuit training, resistance training, and a specialty in active older adults. So let me break down a couple of those things that your coaches are telling you and you're not sure what they're talking about. So the very first thing we're going to go over in this series is treadmills. So this is our treadmill series. I'm going to go into what they mean by bring up that pace, breathe throughout the treadmill. I know it's silly to coach you to breathe through certain exercises, but let's just break down a few different things that's commonly said on the treadmill. So one of the common things that's said on the treadmill is to not hold on. And the reason is that it does decrease your workout by about 20% for the positive effects. So we want to make sure that all that we're doing on our treadmill workouts, that we're not wasting our time. So make sure that if you feel balanced, that you do try to challenge yourself to not hold on to the bars. The second thing is bring it up or let's bring up that pace. What do they mean by that? They mean they want you to bring it up to whatever pace that you're comfortable with. So sometimes I feel like participants will go too fast or too slow. So you have to find out where your happy medium is. How do you find out where your happy medium is? Well, you are going for easy, medium, and hard. And easy is you're not like out of breath, you're just walking, maybe talking to your friend. Medium might be a brisk walk for some, and a medium might be a jog for some. It all depends where your fitness level lies. So if you're going to be judging that, judge it based off of your perceived rate of exhaustion. That means your perception of how exhausted you're feeling throughout that workout. So focus on how you're feeling. In that medium stage, you should be slightly getting out of breath now, okay? If you're going for your hard, you're going to be completely out of breath, just to the point that you won't be able to carry a conversation. Everybody's easy, medium, and hard are going to be different. And it all depends on how you perceive yourself. So if you perceive yourself, if a brisk, from a regular walk to a brisk walk, and that's your medium, then you stick with that. If that's not enough, then I expect you as your coach to be bringing it up, okay? And that could look like a 0.2 mile versus 2 miles, okay? So it all depends on what you are feeling in that moment. So now that we've covered that on the treadmill, what do they mean by don't jump the rails? So essentially, you want to bring your treadmill to a complete stop and not be just jumping on a belt that is constantly moving. It does help save the wear and tear, but the most important thing is, especially in fitness classes, because I've worked in some pretty high-end, high-energy areas of my fitness career, I've seen people wipe right out. You gotta be really careful. So when we say don't jump the rails, it means we care about your safety, but also at the same time, it helps if you have your own treadmill, it does help to save it. Lastly, the cool down. When they say don't just jump off, make sure you get that cool down. What they're trying to tell you is We don't want you to get dizzy and fall off the treadmill when you stop. If you're going from like really hard pace to nothing pace, you gotta give your body a little bit time to slow down. It's just essentially like a big rig, right? You gotta give bigger vehicles a longer amount of time to slow down and stop. And that's the same thing with our bodies. We need to be slow when we shut off. Again, I've seen people get dizzy from the motion of the treadmill to just walking, and sometimes it's too much of a change and they topple over. So, there we have it for treadmills. Couple tricks that I'd like to go over that I said I would go over at the beginning of this video. Tricks to seeing progress throughout your workout. You want to follow coaches and people in the fitness community who do interval training. And the reason you want to do interval training is once you get your heart rate up to your max for a specific amount of times, usually 7 to 10 minutes of your cardio workout. Your cardio workout should be roughly 20 to 30 minutes of your entire workout. If you are trying to get your cardio in, 7 to 10 of those minutes are going to be as hard as you can go. Remember earlier in the video that we talked about you defining what your easy and what your hard looks like. So if your hard or your easy looks however it looks, the point is that you want to make sure that you are getting yourself to that high energy point for that maximum amount of time. That doesn't mean that you need to be running for 7 minutes at one time. You can split it up by doing interval training. So let's say 1 minute you walk, 1 minute you jog. And like I said earlier, maybe that jog is enough for you to get your heart rate up to your max heart rate. There are lots of max heart rate calculators that you can find that can help you determine where you should be. I encourage you to invest in a reputable heart rate monitor. I use a Samsung. I did buy an off-brand one and found the heart rate to be incorrect. So my heart rate monitor is usually always in line with all the ones at the gyms and everything like that. So bring your heart rate up for the 7 to 10 minutes by implementing interval technique. You are taking that walking pace as your break for the next minute. And then you're bringing it up. You're working for just 1 minute and then you're bringing it down. I am also neurodivergent and I do struggle on the treadmill. It can be very boring for me. So the tip and trick for that is to do interval training. You can switch it to 30 seconds and then you can bring it up to 45 and then you can bring it up to a minute and then back down for your cool down. The more different your treadmill circuits are, the better attention you're going to spend on these workouts. It'll be fun. The time passes by quickly because you're no longer watching the clock for a 20 to 30 minute cardio workout. You're watching 1 minute at a time.